DARVO, short for deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender, is one of the most confusing manipulation tactics because it turns accountability into accusation. It describes a predictable chain of reactions. First, the manipulator denies what they did. Then, they attack you for even bringing it up. And finally, they reverse the roles, claiming they're the real victim. You say, "Your words hurt me." They reply, "That never happened." Then comes the criticism. "You're too sensitive. You always start drama." And suddenly, they're crying. Now you're the one apologizing. The original issue disappears, replaced by guilt and confusion. That's the goal. DARVO protects the manipulator's image by erasing responsibility and making you feel cruel for asking for truth. So, what can you do? Stay calm and bring the conversation back to facts. Say exactly what behavior you're referring to and when it happened. Don't argue over emotion. DARVO feeds on chaos. Write things down. Keep messages, dates, screenshots, anything that grounds you in evidence. If it happens again, move the conversation to a neutral space, HR, mediation, or email, where performance can't replace proof. Then there's the white knight. At first, they look like the kindest person in the room, the rescuer, the fixer, the one who always steps in to help. But here's the definition. A white knight inserts themselves into your problems, offering to save you even when you never asked. They don't just solve problems, they create them too. So, they can be the hero who fixes everything. You'll see it in work, family, relationships, someone who always knows what's best for you and gets defensive if you don't need their help. Their goal isn't kindness, it's control through usefulness. If you depend on them, they stay important. If you grow independent, they lose power. So what do? Set clear boundaries. Early. When someone tries to jump in, say, "I appreciate it, but I'd like to handle this myself." If they keep inserting themselves, call out the pattern gently. "I've noticed you often step in before I ask. Why is that?" Bringing the behavior into light removes their stage. If they still manufacture chaos just to solve it, step away completely. Real support helps you grow. Manipulative rescue keeps you small. The silent treatment is another quiet weapon. Control through absence. By definition, it's when someone intentionally ignores you to make you feel anxious, guilty, or desperate for their attention. It often starts after a small disagreement. No calls, no messages, no eye contact, just silence. Hours turn to days, and you start to question yourself. Did I say something wrong? Eventually, you apologize, not to solve the problem, but to end the silence. That's how the training begins. You learn to fear distance and trade truth for connection. The manipulator's goal is to decide when you feel seen and when you feel invisible. So what can you do? Recognize that silence can be punishment. It's not always peace. Set a clear boundary. I respect your need for space, but ignoring me isn't communication. If they remain silent, stop chasing noise. Your calm withdrawal removes their power. Use that space to reconnect with people who value dialogue, not dominance. Their silence doesn't define your worth. It only reveals their fear of accountability. And then, there's breadcrumbing. It's the manipulation of hope. Breadcrumbing happens when someone gives you just enough attention to keep you waiting, but never enough to move forward. They text you occasionally, like your posts, send vague compliments, say, "We should talk soon," but never follow through. Each small gesture reignites a spark of expectation. You hold on, hoping that this time will be different. But it never changes, because keeping you waiting is the point. The manipulator's goal is access, not connection. They want your attention on standby without ever having to commit. So, how do you protect yourself? Set clear standards for what consistency looks like to you. Define what effort means, messages, time, plans, and communicate it clearly. If they can't meet that, stop decoding mixed signals. Decide that inconsistency isn't enough. You don't need to chase closure. Silence is already an answer. And when you stop waiting for crumbs, you'll realize the space they leave isn't emptiness, it's freedom.